Hey, and what's up guys, my name is Yuris and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm gonna show you how I scaped this 45 centimeter bonsai aquarium. I think it turned out quite cool. Guys, but before we get started on this aquarium, there is a little announcement I would like to make. And this is today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Danele Plants. I previously mentioned that I work for them, so disclaimer here. And there is a chance for you to win one of these Danele Plants aquarium guides. It's 150 pages full of knowledge, beautiful photos, step-by-step tutorials, explanations, huge plant library, so you can look up a lot of cool stuff. It's available in English, in German and in French language. So where you're from, you will tell me in the comments, and also what's your favorite plant from this layout, and I'm gonna pick 5 lucky winners. And if you haven't had luck and you're not one of the 5, head over to daneleplants.com because the new homepage is live and there is a weekly giveaway where you can get some of these by joining the newsletter. So good luck everyone, and now let's get started. To scape this aquarium, I started as usual. So it is a 45p aquarium. I have put in a little bit of Tropica Soil. I'm still using a lot of Tropica Soil. I have a big stock of it. Having a thin layer on the bottom, I sprinkled all the ADA additives on top. Mainly Tourmaline BC, Bacter 100, Clear Super, Penac P and Penac W. All of those additives, they play a major role of making the substrate as nutrient rich as possible, making it active to provide all the good stuff. If you'd like to know more about all the additives and how they work, check out my previous video about my 120 cm Iwagumi. There I explained them all individually. So after the substrates were in, I added more soil. I created a little bit of a slope. You create a slope because this way you get more depth. You see here, it's narrow in the front, it's taller in the back. This way the aquarium looks deeper because it's longer. It's like an optical illusion. Also, bigger plants in the back need more substrate. Makes sense, right? So then I played with the hardscape, and the idea for the hardscape was to make a tree layout because this aquarium goes to a friend of mine and he's a huge bonsai fan. So he challenged me to create something with a tree inside. So to mimic the tree, I found this beautiful branched piece of manzanita driftwood, and I'm using here mini landscape rock. So the first hardscape pieces that went inside was this big rock and the supportive rock down here. Also another supportive rock in the front here. These 3 rocks I glued together with the cotton pad and liquid super glue. I have a dedicated video about this technique, will be linked up here. Check that out if you want to learn more about that. It bonds in seconds, holds things in place, and yeah, that's what I wanted here. So the rocks are super secured, and then I attached the tree on top. So there is one large piece that I kind of fiddled in some gaps of this rock, and then I used smaller branches here on the bottom left side to build this, you know, like the bark of the tree where the roots are coming, so it should look a little bit, you know, dominant and symbolize stability, so it looks aged, and maybe something like here, that little tip, like something broke off, I don't know. However, I interglued everything, so the branch is connected to the rock. Again, cotton pad, super glue, and did the same thing with the smaller branches here that just help create this optical illusion of a tree sitting on the rock. And once you know, those things were glued in place, I covered the cotton pads with a soil dust. Again, dripped a little bit of super glue on it. It bonds in seconds and you don't see any white stuff. So, as a little counterpart, I use here on the right side another rock formation that creates a balance. A very common mistake I see in aquascapes. I'm judging aquascaping contests for many years, several times a year. And what I see a lot of people are making one side super heavy, overloaded, and the other side is just flat. It's missing the counterbalance. So for that reason, I used that rock formation on the other side as a counterbalance, and I created this valley in the middle to kind of drag the viewer into the landscape, because then you can add maybe a light screen in the back or something, and then create this kind of funnel effect between the rocks. I used 2 more pieces of rock, one in the front here, mainly to provide more visual stability, to extend the line, to give the rock more stability, as well as to hold the slope in place. You see here the slope is pretty tall, and it always helpful to keep things in place, to use a piece of rock, and also to prevent soil from coming to the front on this place. You can still see a little bit here. I used a black sponge. And same here in that, I don't know, like a little cave. I pushed the sponge from the back with my tweezers to block the soil from coming to the front. And then I have another little rock here in the back. And this rock also, you can see here, holds the slope in place. Also, when viewed from the front, it adds a little bit of depth to the composition. So that was the hardscape. So then I prepared the plants, and yeah, once again, thanks Danila Plants for sponsoring the plants for today's video. As for the plants, I prepared the following and planted them in the same order. First things first, I planted the Eleocharis mini in the foreground on the left and right side. Next, I planted some Marsilea hirsuta in the foreground here. It is going to blend in with the Eleocharis pussila. Another plant I planted to the foreground over here was the Cryptocoryne wendtii Kompakt. It's a very small wendtii. Really like it. As you can see right now, the leaves are missing. I did my favorite, chop them all off technique. Results in a much smaller growth. Really like doing it. So then I planted some Hemianthus Cuba towards the back here, and here again my idea is to create an illusion of the Marsilea hirsuta in the front, larger leaf size, Hemianthus Cuba in the back, smaller leaf size, creates the perspective. And then in the back, you can see it from the back side, I planted the Cryptocoryne lutea Hobbit. The lutea Hobbit is a variety of the Cryptocoryne lutea, and yeah, it's a small brownish crypt. Right now it's immersed growth, it's going to become darker in color, so a smaller crypt in the front, a slightly larger in the foreground. They're both small, but lutea Hobbit is even smaller, so again there's illusion, something bigger in the front, something smaller in the back. So this is it for that middle path, the foreground and the middle path to the background. And now we're coming to the rear corners. In the rear corners, I used a mix of Rotala orange juice, Myriophyllum Guyana, and Ludwigia arcuata. And guys, I have to tell you, it's quite refreshing to use Danila plants, since they have some species I have always missed in the Tropica range. The Ludwigia arcuata is one of these. It's a small reddish stem plant. I absolutely love it. So great to have it here. I planted sort of in a triangular shapes. You know, I try to divide those background corners in triangular shapes. So we have over here Myriophyllum Guyana. Over here we have the Ludwigia arcuata, and here Rotala orange juice. While Rotala orange juice and the Myriophyllum Guyana were potted plants, the arcuata was tissue culture, very small, and the Guyana and Rotala orange juice actually were quite large. So what I did, I divided them by half with my scissors prior to planting. This way I doubled the amount of stems, and I've been able to plant quite densely on the right side, and the same I did on the left side. So again, on the left side we have over here a section with Ludwigia arcuata. Then I planted quite a big section of the orange juice, mainly all the remaining stems of the orange juice, and then some remaining Myriophyllum Guyana here in the foreground. And finally, I glued some Bucephalandras on the tree, of course. The final step for that, I used the Bucephalandra Seiryu brown, I think that's the variety. It's slightly bigger here. It grows quite small, as the name says, brown leaves. And towards the top, on the outer branches, I have used Bucephalandra mini needleleaf. I think that's probably one of the smallest Bucephalandras in the world, and definitely the smallest one sustainably produced in tissue culture, and this is very important for me, guys. Don't buy the wild collected Bucephalandras. Always try to buy sustainably reproduced or propagated Bucephalandra from nurseries, submerged or in tissue culture to protect the natural habitats. So we are having small Bucephalandras on the tree. Over time they're going to grow and create a nice foliage, and yeah, I think it turned out quite nice. Hardware wise, I don't have the hardware here. Like I said, this is for a friend of mine. He has the hardware. However, the tank is going to be lit by a Twinstar 450E series, filtered by an Eheim Classic 250. It's a small canister filter, and it's going to have pressurized CO2 with Ryuoh Neo diffuser. Probably gonna use Tropica specialized fertilizer on this one. Now, which fish would you put inside? It's a small tree. Let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking maybe small rainbow fish, Sodomoguli furcuatus, something like that. That would be nice. Otherwise, drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed watching, guys, hit the like button. Really appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Don't forget the giveaway. To enter the giveaway, comment down below which language you would prefer, German, English, French, of this plant guide, and what's your favorite plant from the tank. I'm gonna pick 5 lucky winners, and if you want more chances, head over to danielplants.com, the new homepage. Check it out. Lots of cool information already up and more to be added very, very soon. This is it for now, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Thanks for staying till the very end. Love you, appreciate you. Have a great day, stay safe, escape hard, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.